here are a few things you should know before starting full-time doing remote online freelance work, whether that's design or coding or writing or consulting. There's a few things you need to know about starting your own online business. Now, a lot of people will tell you that being your own boss is the best, being your own boss is amazing, but it's a lot of work. So if you've worked a regular job, in an office or in a cubicle or flipping burgers or anything like that, you'll know that you have a very specialized job. You're doing only one part of the job. There's only one thing that you do, and it may have a lot of things tied to it, but if you think about it, it's only one part of the whole. Meaning, you get this work done and you pass it off to someone else who does something else, or you handle this part of the team, like marketing, and the other person handles the technical part, or they handle the design part. Well, whatever you do, when you start a business for that, for instance, copywriting or design or development, all of a sudden you get a whole lot more hats to wear and a whole lot more balls to juggle than what you were usually acquainted with. So if you were good at designing or good at coding, what you may not have been good at was selling. And that's one of the things that just burn freelancers. It just burns them. And it's one of the things that it's feast or famine. Depending on how good you are at selling and making connections, you will either do well or you will starve. And it's one of those things that can keep you up at night, to be honest. And that is because you are the boss. The boss has to pay for their employees. And you are now your own employee and the boss. So you have to make sure that you are to work on time now. Yes, it is now your responsibility. Before, it was a mental onus on you to get there so that the boss could pay you or the company would write you your check. But now, if you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't come in on time, there are no sick days. Sick days are a thing of the past. Now, there are some bright sides to this, but we're going over the negatives right now. So sick days are a day of the past. If you really do get sick, or if I'm sick, then there's no payment for you. And that's one of the things that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the full responsibility of every decision you make. And you really have to work on making smarter decisions. What you have to do is you have to make sure that there's enough money in the bank to carry you and your business through tough times. You do that by charging appropriately. So you can no longer charge your single person rate because you're not a single person anymore. You're now a business, even if you're just a business of one, because it costs money to advertise. It costs money to go to these events and network. It costs money for the materials and time and electricity and computers and all this stuff. And what you need to do is to account for that. When you were going into the office or you were going to wherever you worked before as an employee, they all knew the corporate office had to pay for that, or the boss had to pay for that, or whoever was in charge and paying the bills accounted for that. That's why you were getting paid only a certain amount and they get paid a little bit more because they handle these business problems that you don't have to. Well, now you have to handle them. And the reason why is because freelancers get caught up and not seeing this as a business. This is a business. Being your own boss is a business. And running your own product, selling your own service or product is a business. And if you don't see it as a business, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be hungry. Unless this is not your full time or you have something else on the side, you're going to be hungry if you're depending on this to eat and you're not treating it like a business. And because of that, you need to get up early. However early you were getting up before, you can keep the same schedule. Just start making a schedule to get up early. Start making a commitment to yourself in a agenda every day for the work that you need to get done. And if you don't have a lot of customers anywhere, that's job number one. That's job number one. So you say, okay, how do I get more customers in? You need to be more active online. You need to be connecting with people. If there's meetups in the area, go to the meetups. You need to start letting people know of your services. Now, if you're not that good and you're just getting started, you need to start doing some spec work, which means work that you're doing for free for yourself to show people the quality of work that you can do, or actually taking on work pro bono a little while so you can build up testimonials. But do not hop on Freelancer, Fiverr, or whatever else. That will burn you out quicker than you can imagine. And one of the things that you have to protect yourself from as the boss and as the employee is the stresses of the work environment when times aren't good, when balancing your personal life and your work life. So more often than not, you might be working from home. And if you're working from your home, and if you have multiple people in your home, what might happen is you're getting distracted. You are trying to, you're your own boss now, and it becomes a real challenge to separate personal time for yourself, business time, and other people's time, whether that's friends or family or anything like that. And it now becomes your sole responsibility to manage all three. When before before the company or wherever you used to work at had a certain amount of time where you would get in, now it's up to you to set that time and that schedule. So a few more things about being your own boss, starting your own remote company, is you need to learn the tools of the trade. There's a lot of tools out there to help you do remote work. But some of the things the basic things that you need is you need video chat software, whether that's Skype or whether it's something like an online or a mobile thing. You need to be able to connect with people face to face, even digitally around the world. Have meetings, Screenshare. Basically, try to make it so that even if you are in a different country, that the experience is similar to being there in person. Being there. People need security, and if they can know that you're there and that you're responsive to them, that they leave you a message on Friday and you get back to them Friday evening, then they can trust you and keep the business going. And they can come back with work, and you do good work, and they'll let other people know. And you really need to work on your weaknesses. So if you're actually, marketing is not my strong suit. So if marketing is not your strong suit, if you have enough money for it, or if you know someone, find someone who's good at it. Find someone who knows what they're doing. Or if you don't know what you're doing personally, but you like to learn, you're going to be taking lots of notes. Like this book, Guerrilla Marketing Remix by J. Conrad Levinson. So basically, you're going to be learning, you're going to be reading, you're going to be building up your skills, because you might not have any business skills right now, and you really need to learn them, because that'll be the difference between doing okay work and actually being paid and making a living. Fortunately for me, what I did was, I'm not good at the selling side. I had to realize that later. I'm terrible at selling. But when I'm not trying to be a salesy person, I connect a lot better with people, and they actually give me work. Right? But basically what I'm trying to say is, let the work be flawless, let the work be good, get better at your skill, but you have to work on the soft skills, the skills that you may not have, that you need to find someone else who can help you get better at this. You guys join forces, or you can even outsource this part of the business to someone else, accounting or something like that. But basically, you own all the process of production now, and it is in your responsibility to make sure that you're meeting your budgets, that you're meeting your revenue. Alright, so I didn't want to leave that on a bad note, so let me end it on some good things. Some of the great things about deciding is, no, you don't have sick days, but guess what? You can set when you have a holiday, depending on the kind of work you do. So you can have enough money for the year. You can set it up so that you don't work a certain month of the year. And, that was something that you might see only reserved for people who live very well, or, they have monocles in their eyes. Monocles for glasses or something. But you too can do that. You can become a digital nomad, which means you can take a backpack with your laptop, and you can go to Nova Scotia, you can go to Argentina, and still work online if they have good internet connection from anywhere. You have freedom now. That's the good side of being a boss. That's the good side of running your own business. You have the discretion of saying no to someone. You can tell them, no, we don't accept work like this, or we cannot do it for this price. You're able to negotiate, you're able to barter, you're able to hire people to help you when there's too much work going on. And no one's trying to rake you over the coals, no one's trying to force you to do too much work, and you never have the stress of having to quit. But what you do have to do is you have to be 100% honest with yourself. Am I getting the work done? Am I meeting the right people? Am I actually up to snuff on this thing? Am I as good at design or as coding or development or writing as I say I am? And if I'm not, can I get better? Or can I hire someone to help me? Because having your own business is awesome. It really is. Especially when you get good at it and when you're making money. I've developed and coded for many years, started my own agency, freelance for many years. So what I can tell you is it provides you a level of freedom that you don't have otherwise. If there's something going on in your life, you can put things away for a while and know that everything will be alright. And there's a piece to that. There's a piece to that, knowing that you have a bit of control over your own destiny. And if you're just starting out, it might be a little scary because it also comes with the responsibility of your own destiny and making sure that every month the money comes in. But on the flip side, if you do better, if your business does better, you do better. You don't have a salary, meaning like a fixed ceiling or a fixed floor. So thanks for watching. And what I would tell you is take the path less traveled. Take the path that other people wouldn't expect or other people wouldn't do. Don't take the path of least resistance. Take the path that's worthwhile. There are no shortcuts to routes worth taking. And in the end, you're usually the person who other people come to for the job, for their next job. Thanks for watching.